All right, today we're cracking open one of the most powerful creative tools inside of Bloxd.io, the Code API. Seriously, this is your key to stop just playing the game and start building your very own worlds and experiences.
So let me just ask you this. Have you ever been playing and thought, you know what? I could make an awesome capture the flag mode. Or maybe a zombie survival game. Or what about a parkour map where the floor literally disappears behind you? If any of those ideas sound cool, then you're in the right place.
Okay, so what is this Code API? Well, think of it like a scripting engine that's built right into the game. It uses JavaScript, which is a super common and pretty easy to learn language, and it gives you this massive library of over 200 commands to control pretty much everything that happens in your world. So here's our game plan. We'll quickly cover what this thing is, get you writing your very first lines of code, take a whirlwind tour of the massive toolkit you've got, touch on some more advanced stuff, and then, well, the rest is up to you. All right, first things first, how do you actually get your code to run inside your world? It's actually way simpler than you might think. The game gives you two main ways to trigger your JavaScript. On one hand, you've got code blocks. You'll find these in the creative menu, and they're your best friends for big, complex game logic, mainly because they have no text limit. On the other hand, you have press-to-code boards. These are awesome for simple triggers, like a button a player can press to get an item. The main thing to remember is this. For anything beefy, you're gonna want to use the code blocks. And here it is. This is your hello world moment in Bloxd.io. This one little line of code does something so simple and so cool. It targets the player who ran it, that's my ID, and sets their velocity. Those three numbers, that's just X, Y, and Z. So by setting the Y velocity to 9, you're basically launching that player straight into the air. Trust me, it feels awesome to run this for the first time. Now, every single time your code runs, the game hands you a few crucial pieces of information. My ID is always the player who triggered the code. This pause is super useful. It's the exact coordinates of the code block itself. And then you have API. Think of API as your magic wand, your universal remote for the game. It's the one thing you'll use to access every single command we're about to talk about. All right, now for the really fun part. Let's take a quick spin through your new Creator Toolkit. The API is huge, yeah, but it's broken down into really logical groups, so it's easy to find exactly what you need. First up, players. You have total control. You can teleport them anywhere with set position. You can make them do the zombie shuffle with set player pose. You can even turn them halfway invisible by changing their opacity. Or just hit the reset button with force respawn. This is the bedrock for creating game rounds or custom player states. Okay, how about the world itself? You can check what any block is at any coordinate. You can instantly place a new one. And this one is a real game changer. With set block rect, you can clear out a massive cube of blocks all at once. Imagine resetting an entire arena in the blink of an eye. That's the kind of power we're talking about. You gotta communicate with your players, right? Well, with a super simple command like broadcast message, you can send a message to every single person in your world. You can change the color, make it a big announcement for the start of a round, a victory screen, or just a simple welcome message. Want to build something with a little more action? The API has your back. You can directly manage player health, create custom damage effects for special weapons, and even grant status effects like a speed boost. And whenever you feel like it, you can just spawn a horde of zombies anywhere on the map. And of course, you're the master of the game's economy. You can use Give Item to give players a specific loadout at the start of a match, completely wipe their inventory clean for a new round, and you can even check what item they're holding to trigger, say, a special ability. Okay, so we've seen all the commands you can give the game, but what if you want your world to react on its own? What if the game could talk back to you? That's where we get into advanced logic. This is how you get true master control, using events and configurations. Now, just pause and think about this for a second. Everything we've talked about so far is us pushing commands to the game. But the real magic, the really dynamic stuff, happens when the game starts pulling your code when things happen. This is a total shift in how you can build your logic. It's called an event callback system, and it's like a simple three-step dance. First, something happens in the game. A player joins or a block gets broken. Second, the game sees this and automatically runs a specific chunk of your code. And third, your code does its thing. So for example, when a player joins, your on-player join code could run to automatically send them a welcome message. It's awesome. Now here's the really cool part. For some things, you don't even have to write that kind of reactive code. The API gives you these powerful configuration systems that just let you declare the rules of your world, and the game engine handles the rest. It is a super efficient way to set up your game mode. You've basically got 3 levels of control here. First, client options. These apply to individual players. You can turn off their ability to build, or even let them fly. Then you have mob settings, which let you customize mobs, so you could make a super fast zombie boss with a ton of health. And finally, entity settings control how things see each other. You could create 2 teams that can't hurt one another, or make a player completely invisible to all enemies.
So, after that whirlwind tour, we're back where we started. The Code API isn't just a small feature. It's a massive, professional-grade game development toolkit that's sitting right inside the game, waiting for you.
So let's just recap what this means. You are in the driver's seat. You can control players, items, and every single block on the world. You're a dungeon master, spawning and customizing enemies on a whim. You're an architect, designing entire game modes just by setting a few rules. And you can build a world that feels truly alive by having it react to everything the players do. Honestly, the only limit now is your own imagination. You have all the pieces, the commands, the events, the configuration rules, everything you need to build something completely new and unique. So I guess the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?